It's the final percent. The final percent.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Final Percent podcast. Today I want to talk about the blueprint of success because it's actually not hard. I've done so many different things in my life where I've absolutely 100% failed. I failed at a business. I failed at a relationship. I failed at, following through with something. I failed. And what I realized is the failure is actually me outsmarting me outsmarting the process, me outsmarting what I think is the way that I think it should go. And what I mean by that is there is a very simple equation to do most things that we want to do. And if you failed, it's usually because you are thinking you're too good for a certain process. You think you can find a better process. You are looking for a shortcut. And what happens is you end up trying to fast forward your life. If you want to watch this principle in a very clear picture, go watch the movie Click, because he tries to fast forward his life and he ends up not having one. But if we're not able to take the next step with our work, with our relationship, whatever, usually it's because we're trying to be too smart. We're trying to... Have you ever heard the phrase, don't reinvent the wheel? I've done different things, and recently I failed at a company where I had access to the top leadership in this company. And they gave me the blueprint. They say, hey, Greg, if you do this, you build your business this way, you do this, you do this, you do this. And I was going to use it as kind of like a side business in my personal coaching, the Final Percent coaching. And I said, absolutely, let's do this. But I tried to reinvent everything. I tried to reinvent the way that you did the pitch. I tried to reinvent the way that you do the Facebook groups, the talking, the this, that, and the other, because I thought, my process was better. No, my process is just that, my process, and I found something that works at the Final Percent. But building that business, things remained the same. And when you go into these niche markets, you can usually talk to someone who in our language at the Final Percent is called a snowplow, someone who has plowed the snow already, someone who has moved all of the snow out of the way, someone who has taken the bullets, taken the wrong path, for crying out loud. If you can get around these people, listen to them and don't try to be like, oh, well, I can do that better. No, if you were smarter, you wouldn't need to talk to someone like that. And we are going through life, and there's 4 areas that I like to talk about that are cornerstones in building success. The first one is attitude. And if you think about what I just said, you talk to these top leaders in business or motivational speakers, your teachers, the people who are the snowplows of your life, and if you have the attitude that you are either equal with them, or you're better than them, or you're smarter than them, or they should be lucky enough to be talking to someone like you, if you have that attitude, you are literally dropping yourself to a 75% success rate. Because the attitude is what starts the other 3 quadrants. This is a blueprint for being successful. Because think about it, the next one is communication. The next one's communication. So if you have a bad attitude, are you going to communicate well or communicate poorly? Okay. The next thing, and these are success principles that are just in every single thing you're going to do. If you want to be successful, you have to have a good attitude or the right attitude. Sometimes, you got to tap into that internal fire and you got to get angry with certain things to motivate you forward, but you have to get the right attitude. The next thing is communication. You have to communicate that you are serious about your goals. You have to communicate with yourself. You have to communicate with your spouse. You have to communicate with your employees, with your boss, with the people around you. You have to be able to communicate. The next thing is learning. Now, going back to attitude, That is our foundation in so many things. Do you have an attitude where you are open to learning? Because so many times, so often, we think that we know everything, but all we know is what we know. And think about this phrase, and I know it sounds so simple, but it's really important to think about. You do not know what you do not know. This is why we need to remain open forever. So you have the attitude that will help you with your communication. You have the attitude. Are you in an attitude of I am open to learn? Do you have a thirst for knowledge? Are you hungry to learn more? Are you hungry to get better? Incredibly important. The other thing is almost none of these things matter. Notice how we bookend attitude, and the very last one is action. Are you action oriented? Remember that the knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. The application of knowledge is power. So if you do not put that knowledge that you just got from the book, the seminar, whatever, into action, it doesn't matter. Communication. If you know how to communicate, if you know that, for instance, your mate really wants quality time and she or he wants to go to a movie, communicate that to them. Communicate that to them that you understand, hey, I know this is important to you, and because it's important to you, it's important to me as well. But unfortunately, it goes back to Jim Rohn. He said, he would always ask people, an apple a day keeps everybody out there, if you were listening, you just said keeps the doctor away, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, that's easy enough to do, right? That's true, right? But here's the thing. If it's easy to do, that also means it's easy not to do. It's easy not to do easy things. It's easy not to do simple things. So here's the thing. If we have these things that we know are in every single personal growth book, self-development book, sales book, everything, attitude, communication, learning, take action. Attitude, communication, learning, take action. Attitude, communication, learning, take action. Okay, I just said that 3 times in a row, and probably halfway through the second time, you're like, oh, I hope he doesn't say it a third time. Come on. I don't want to hear. I know, Greg, I get it. You know, that's what you're thinking. Dude, you don't got to tell me. I get it. I understand. I know this. No, you don't. If you knew it, you would do it. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And these are just the rules of the game, you know? And so we have to stop picking and choosing and saying, okay, well, I'm great at communication, but, you know, I'm me, so I don't have to learn anymore. That rule doesn't apply to me. I am the exception of the rule. What you're actually saying when you say, I'm the exception to the rule, you're basically saying, someone didn't love me enough and I want to feel special. So I'm going to tell you that I'm the exception of the rule when really you're just super freaking insecure. And it's time to realize there are a certain set of rules to do whatever you want to do. There's a certain set of rules to be a super good parent, and they're all simple. There's like 10 things that you need to know about anything to have guideposts and the rules of engagement and things so that you can be very successful at a high level at whatever you're trying to do. It's when you think you are too good for the rule. It's when you think you are too good. Like, for instance, I'm trying to put on this conference. I found myself doing that early on. Well, I own a school that teaches music production. So, you know, production, this, that, and the other, those production conversations don't necessarily apply to me. Yes, they do. If anything, they might apply more to me because I'm stuck in my own ways and I'm primarily music. I don't know what I don't know about putting on a really great conference. And man, I'm glad that I humbled myself because I just had the conversation with the production team, and boy, are there things that I don't know about corporate AV. Holy moly. Here's the thing. Be open to learn. And the thing is don't try to outsmart yourself. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Anything that you want to get accomplished, there is a blueprint out there for. And what I want you to do, if you're really excited about podcasts, you listen to podcasts like I do, or you listen to Audible like I do, just start writing down things that show up often. Does that make sense? So attitude, oh man, this person just attitude, action, learning, communication, knowing your numbers, knowing from money, networking, all of these different things. There are certain things that are going to start popping up in absolutely every single book. That's like one of your 10 commandments now. And just identify, how does this apply to whatever I'm trying to get accomplished? If you work at McDonald's right now, there's 2 people who work at McDonald's, all right? Someone who just needs a job and it's a stepping stone. The other person is about to own a McDonald's. So we can't get mad at people, oh, well, you just make minimum wage at McDonald's. It depends on, remember, who are you becoming somewhere, not what are you getting from somewhere. If you focus on the transaction, they'll treat you like one. So don't ask yourself, what am I getting from this place? What am I getting from this? No, who am I becoming here? Because remember, one person at McDonald's is just looking for some extra gas money, spending money. They're in college. They're doing something else. Who are they becoming? Someone who's employed. Who are they becoming? Someone who doesn't have to freak out and think their phone's going to get turned off. The other person, who are they becoming? Someone who's going to be, a president of their own franchise company of McDonald's. And that's okay. But we have to identify, who am I becoming here? So often we focus on that transactional BS that kind of shows up, and then we don't become anybody because we're only looking for just an outcome. We're only looking for this. We don't ever actually become anyone. We become someone who's always trying to extract something out of someone or something. And those people, I think we all know, that's not something that we like. So the thing is there's a blueprint for everything. The core blueprint starts with attitude and ends with action. And if you think about it, if you have a bad attitude, you're not going to take action. And that's something you need to understand. So the thing is, when you identify the rules of the game, stop trying to break them. Stop trying to bypass them. Now, if you find a truly better, repeatable, consistent way to do something, sure, then I want you to go teach. That's one of the biggest success principles that you will find these high-level people, is when they figure out the better way. They don't hide it. They don't hoard it. They don't keep it. They want to go teach people how to do it. That's what the cool thing about it is. That's one of the success principles. When you get to that level, you go, like Sharon Lechter, for instance, she helped Robert Kiyosaki make Rich Dad Poor Dad what it is today, this iconic brand. She helped him do that. She helped presidents, Bush and Obama, with financial literacy. Why? Because she got so good at what it was, and there was a problem that she wanted to solve, and she wanted to educate. She wanted to teach people. She wanted to reach out and help people get better, help people take their lives to the next level. Does this make sense, guys? Are you starting to get it? Are you starting to be like, okay, yeah, I do understand the rules of the game, and I've been trying to stretch it and break it and bob it and weave it and do all of these different things, and that's understandable. Everyone wants to try to get there faster, but it goes back to, that old saying, what's the fastest way between 2 points? That's a straight line, right? What is the slowest way between 2 points? An unknown shortcut. When you're looking for that shortcut, you think you're speeding up, and you're actually making it take 3, 4, 5 times longer, or maybe never happen. So the thing is, the blueprint to success is pretty simple. It starts with attitude, communication, learning, and action. That's the blueprint. That part of it can get applied to anything you're trying to do, but you cannot skip steps. You cannot try to reinvent the wheel, because you are actively sabotaging yourself. So anyway, learn the rules of the game. Identify the rules of the game, and then just work the game. Stop trying to play baseball with the rules of NFL football. That's what you're trying to do on some of these things. We can be better. So anyway, shameless plug for the Final Percent conference that is happening on the 24th, 25th, and 26th if you're a VIP, 25th and 26th if you're a general admission and you want to come in and just kind of experience what we got going on. Entertainment, education is colliding in a way that people have not experienced before. So please try us out, see what's going on, take action on this. I'm doing this at this level because, it's those three words, I just know I need to expose this to the world and have people experience personal growth on a completely new and different level. This is the conference that I always wished and hoped I was showing up to, but I never got. So you know what? When there's a problem as an entrepreneur that you needed to solve, go ahead and build it. So I hope to see you there. I really appreciate your love and support, guys, and you have a fantastic weekend. And this has been The Final Percent.
It's the final percent. The final percent.